こんにちは。私は日本から来ました。
你好，我来自中国福建。
Hi, I'm from the United States.
السلام عليكم أنا من سوريا. Hi,
Fantastic.
Do you think that you get pigeonholed into doing more heritage and cultural works? Because I do see that you do other genres as well.
I'm Ching Shui. I was born in Singapore, but I spent 17 years living in China and Canada. So I know what it's like to be an outsider trying to assimilate.
I'll be spending 5 days with an American who, within years of arriving in Singapore, found himself in the center of controversy. Did you think it was made worse when the public found out that it was painted by an American artist?
Yet, he still wants to become Singaporean. Why?
It is 6:25. I'm supposed to meet my profile.
Hi.
Hello. You must be the one I'm looking
Yes,
for.
yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Shui.
Hi, Shui. I'm Sean. Oh, we're walking to the MRT. So I send my two daughters to school in the morning 3 times a week, and I pick them up from evening tuition 2 times a week.
Do you always go to school by train?
No, not always. I'll usually drive her.
So sometimes you do use the car.
Yeah,
Do you prefer taking the public transportation?
I do.
Not.
She doesn't. Hello.
Hi, Sean. Even if you're taking like public transport, it's a longer journey, you don't mind it?
It's not that much longer, and no traffic. Like that intersection across the way, especially at this time when you're dropping them off, it's so slow. It's like 20 minutes of just sitting there. Gotta go back and get the other one.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Hi. What's your name? Skylar. Nice to meet you.
Up, up. Hey.
This is the bus. Yes.
Hop out.
Bye, Skylar. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Jump.
Have fun in school. It's about 9 o'clock right now, and Sean just spent about 2.5 hours just sending his kids to school. Sean's American, and their mother is Singaporean. So the kids attend local schools. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
That's actually a pretty long journey.
Yeah, it's all right though. Like you saw how much fun it is. The public transportation system is great here, so there's no reason not to use it. I'm from Colorado, I'm from the U.S. It's really difficult to do anything without a car.
So everyone drives there.
Yeah, most households will have 2 cars.
So what do you normally do now after you've sent both your children to school?
Go to work.
Go to work?
Yeah.
You may not be familiar with Sean Dunston, but you would have seen this, his infamous mural. In 2024, someone complained saying that the mural was offensive and disrespectful to Samsui women. And just like that, the Urban Redevelopment Authority, or URA, stepped in and asked for changes. But Sean pushed back on social media, and the public backed him up. In 24 hours, URA reversed the decision and the mural stayed.
So Sean, what was the main point of unhappiness about your artwork?
She's young, she's resting, she's smoking, and the complaint that set all of this off was that she looks like a prostitute or a sex worker.
And there are actually other mural artists such as Belinda Low, who's also painted a Samsui woman smoking, and there wasn't a public outcry. So why did you think the public response to your artwork was different?
That one is kind of tucked away, and I don't think that it's as obvious that she's smoking. This one's a bit more in your face.
And did you think it was made worse when the public found out that it was painted by an American artist?
Yeah, for some, they definitely thought that it was like desecrating an icon. There were people who were unhappy that I came here and painted this. The perception was that I'm a foreigner, I came here just to do this and then I'm leaving.
And actually, I do believe that a lot of Singaporeans didn't think that a foreign artist could paint something so iconically Singaporean.
I had people saying we should have gotten a local person to do it, you know, and why are we giving money to foreign talent? But she is foreign talent too, you know, they were brought in. So I think I was able to shut it down just because I did so much research, just trying to get it right. Like the SG Roots website, the National Library website, and MediaCorp had a show called Samsui Women. The key visual in my head came from Samsui Women. It's like you look at the history, they came here when they were like less than 20 years old. I had not seen any of them depicted like so young in the paintings. They're almost always old. They're very old and obviously haven't had, like been working a lot in the sun for a long time.
And actually, Sean, how did you start mural painting?
I've been a painter for a long time. I took college level art courses, but I wasn't actually enrolled. I don't really have much formal training after that. I ended up having to go into construction because there's no art jobs and I didn't have the education to do that. So I was in construction for 20 years. But I always cared about art and I always wanted to continue doing it at some point in my life. Like it felt like I was abandoning it.
So how do you start going into mural painting when you first came to Singapore?
The reason I came to Singapore in the first place was because I met this guy Jay with the company LWC. He saw me winning a bunch of awards for my concrete work. He took me aside and asked me if I wanted to come to Singapore. When I came, most of what I was doing was working at Universal Studios, Sentosa. When those jobs were over, I started to get these little side jobs doing interior design myself. This one time, they needed something for their wall, and so I did the wall for this restaurant called Wolf. It was like chiseled into the wall, and that led to more work. And more work led to more work, and it eventually led to this. And now this is pretty much all I do. I was trying to get back into art, and that was the opportunity that I was waiting for.
And have you actually worked with other local mural artists or have spoken to any of them about your artwork?
I've worked with some mural artists. It's a small world. And I work with a collective now. We all met working on various murals, and all of us now are Rope Access certified. Most recently, we helped Chris Chai paint Tampines North Community Center, and I met Yip Yew Chong after this thing got crazy.
After this?
After this whole thing, yeah. He messaged me and we talked back and forth a little bit.
And how do you think your work is different from his?
He has more of an illustrator style, like a children's book kind of style. The way that objects are stacked, and yeah, it's great. I can see why it has mass appeal.
And how would you describe your style?
How would I describe my style? With difficulty, with great difficulty. The way I approach subject matter is different.
For you, growing up in a completely different environment, do you think that poses disadvantages or advantages for your art here in Singapore?
It's both. It's a disadvantage because I'm not instantly familiar with the subject matter, but it's an advantage because I have a different perspective. Maybe I'll pick up on something that somebody else didn't necessarily see or think was important.
Sean's painted just 2 Singapore-themed exterior murals in the last 9 years, and Yip Yew Chong has painted over 50 in 10. One paints from lived memory, one from discovery. So what happens when one of the country's most prolific muralists meets the outsider who is telling local stories?
So, Sean and Yew Chong, actually, how do you guys knew each other?
We kind of met after the Samsui woman thing, and that's when we started talking.
This is one of those rare times when whole country is talking about art.
So, Yew Chong, would you consider Sean to be a Singaporean artist? Yew Chong, would you consider Sean as a Singaporean artist?
Yes.
Yes?
Take longer to think about it.
He's not Singaporean. Maybe the word is, his art is Singaporean art.
It's an ongoing topic that foreigners come to Singapore taking up our jobs. And actually, as a Singaporean artist, how do you feel about that?
I don't believe in this thing called support local. Only support local. You bring in locals, you bring in foreigners, you are the best of both worlds. And the city becomes more vibrant. The art scene becomes more dynamic.
I saw one person say, why get this foreign guy in here to paint this? Support a local artist. I replied to the guy and I said, do you know any local Singaporean artists? What are their names? Because I do, okay? Yeah, support them. But you don't support them by attacking somebody else. That doesn't help them, it doesn't get them work.
What is your definition of a Singaporean artist?
First and foremost, I am a Singaporean, so whatever art I create must be Singaporean art by default. Art is art. I'm painting overseas, but doesn't mean my art overseas is not Singaporean art. I'm a Singaporean. And also theme-wise, Samsui woman is a Singapore element, right? As an icon. Regardless of nationalities, you do a piece of artwork with Singapore elements and you do it in Singapore, which is already by default, is Singaporean art.
Actually, Sean, you have a work in progress.
Yeah,
Would you mind sharing it with Yip Yew Chong?
sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I was commissioned to do a mural. This is Carpenter Street and New
Oh,
Bridge.
Carpenter Street, okay. I'm going to paint on glass?
Yeah.
That's on glass?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you had any experience with painting on glass?
No. This doesn't look to me like Teochew opera, but it's my impression because, and I'm not familiar with Teochew opera. Looks more like those northern Chinese opera.
Yeah, I've already got a hater.
Yeah. I grew up watching Cantonese opera.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment. What I like is it looks whimsical. The colors and these twirls gives me the kind of wow, it's art.
Good luck.
Thanks, man.
Good luck, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Players will be Sean's 6th exterior mural since he started painting in Singapore 9 years ago. So Sean, when you first moved to Singapore, this is where you stayed?
Yeah, I stayed in that building for like 2 years. I felt very at home, actually. It's beautiful.
And how is this different from Colorado?
This neighborhood is much busier than Colorado Springs, like the busiest part of Colorado Springs.
And how did you acclimatize or assimilate into this completely different environment?
The food helped a lot. The food is really good in this neighborhood. There's a chicken rice place over here. It was the first chicken rice that I had when I got here. I ate it a lot, 4 or 5 times a week.
You went there 4 to 5 times a week.
4 to 5 times a week, yeah.
Why?
Because it was fantastic.
Did you ever get sick of it?
No, I could still eat it 4 to 5 times a week if I lived next door. I probably would.
Did you miss American food?
Yeah, I missed American food, but between all the great food here and the fast food breakfasts, I managed to survive.
Well, shall we go get some chicken rice?
Yeah.
So can you show me what you normally do with your chicken rice? Some people like to pour soy sauce first, some people like to pour chili first.
All right.
Oh, you do what I do.
You do?
Yes.
Sweet.
I do the same.
Yeah, I just inhaled some of the chili,
Okay.
but I'm okay.
Okay. But do you enjoy having the chili? No, you have to love the chili to become a Singaporean.
I like the spicy part of it, I guess. You eat durian?
I don't love it. Do you love durian?
I love it.
Wow.
I could eat it for dinner.
Whoa.
I guess it wasn't like that at first, but I acclimated. When I first got here, there was a lot of cultural stuff that I didn't quite understand. In construction, the Singlish is very like staccato. It's very, very fast, very chopped up. And I was pretty much lost at every single meeting.
Oh, no.
Every single meeting, yeah, I had no idea what was going on.
So what is like a phrase that it took you a while to fully understand or learn?
Like the IP, IT, wow, that one? Do you know that one?
I don't know that.
It means want cheap, want pretty, want big breasts. And it's used to describe someone who has unreasonable expectations.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Before you came to Singapore, do you know anything about Singapore?
When I was first approached to come and work in Singapore, the only thing I knew about Singapore was the Michael Fay thing.
Oh, about the caning.
The caning thing, yeah. When he said that, I was like,
do I want to come? Was it a hard decision for you to choose to move to Singapore?
I first came to Singapore in 2009. Actually, I'm not sure I would have done it if it weren't for the mortgage crisis that happened at the time. The kind of work that I was doing was like high-end custom concrete stuff for wealthy people. People were losing their houses all over the place, and finally it hit my industry too. I had to come here. I couldn't pass up on it.
Was it hard to leave your family behind back in America when you moved here?
Yeah. I had a 4-year-old daughter at the time. She's 20 now. It wasn't easy. While I was gone, like in the first 6 months, the first marriage kind of fell apart.
So since that you're been here for so long, have you tried applying for the PR?
Yeah, I got rejected.
Oh no, you got rejected?
I don't have a college degree. Like I don't have like the level of schooling that they like to see, and I didn't have the level of income. I'm gonna try again though. It's been like 13 years since I tried.
In Singapore, you won't be given a reason as to why your PR's application was rejected. Regardless, Sean is not giving up. In 3 years' time, he will be trying again. Meanwhile, this building at 28 Carpenter Street will be his next canvas. And when completed, the mural will be more than twice the size of the Samsui woman mural. And the client this time is the same as the one who commissioned the Samsui woman mural. And the brief, something traditionally Chinese. So Sean dug into the history of the place and found out that about a century ago, it was home to a Chinese opera troupe.
So Sean, this is the outfit that you wanted to see, right?
Yes, I really love the embroidery.
But I checked for you. The president said that actually the design is not suitable for the pose that you were thinking of.
因为这个是比较有官位的女人才可以穿。
Okay,
比如说皇后或者是妃子。
this is a very royal gown. That's why we suggest you to change to a floral design instead.
Okay.
The collar can keep. That is the science of this Chinese opera. There is the right clothes for the right occasion.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I've actually been in contact with Tao Yang for 6 months trying to refine this final design.
How do you feel about a foreigner creating a mural about Chinese opera?
是很偶然哈，不过我觉得很高兴，有一个外国人喜欢我们的传统戏曲，我很感谢他有这个意向。新加坡的人都没有想到要做这种事情。是
I would say he is the first Caucasian that approached us on his own initiative.
As a foreigner, do you feel like you have to do more research in order to prove yourself?
I just want to get it right, whether it's like a traditional thing or a historical thing. You want to try and get as much information as you can and not screw it up.
After 6 months of planning, today Sean will be starting work on priming his canvas. And that includes cleaning the surface, making sure there are no cracks, and applying base coats to prep for mural work. Hi, Sean.
Hi, how's it
Hi.
going, Sri?
Good. So, what am I in for today?
You're in for it. We're going to go up on this machine and start painting.
All right. It's my first time on a scissor lift. Kind of always wanted to paint outside of a building before.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's like a thing, you know, that
It
you
is.
can't paint on walls or buildings
Yes.
anywhere, so this is great.
It is.
So what is normally the very first step that you have to do?
Normally, the very first step would be making sure that the wall is paintable. Because there's all kinds of stuff that could go wrong. If it's dirty, there's damage. If you paint a mural on it, it's just going to fall off. All right, here you go.
Okay.
Let's just hit it. We have like these metal panels, and the kind of paint that I use is different, so we gotta run a primer.
So before the paint, a layer of primer has to be painted on. Is this okay?
I think so.
All right.
So nice. All right, so
These are the grids that you showed me before.
it's the panels. So, tell you what, I'll rough it in, and then you can do the fills. So that's the shape, and
Okay.
you can do the fill.
It's like art class, but outside on a building.
At the end of the day, it's just a bunch of shapes.
Yeah.
And if you get the math right, it ends up looking like the thing that you need it to look like. Okay, we good. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to get us lunch, huh? So Sean, I got lunch.
Oh, all right.
And your kopi C kosong peng.
Sweet, thank you.
I've also bought a little treat. Da-da-da!
You did it. Awesome. I'm looking forward to getting my stank on.
Yeah?
Yes.
How was it like when you first ate durian?
I thought it was gross.
So you kind of grew to love durian.
Yeah.
I think what I did today with you, it made me kind of look at Singapore in a very different perspective. And I've been to this location many, many times. It really made me look at Singapore in a very different angle. Almost kind of like a painting. Yeah. I think that really made me appreciate the environment that we're in a lot more, as well as the space that we're in.
Oh. I feel weird eating it by myself.
I think, yeah, durian must share, but sorry, I don't eat durian.
No problem. I don't mind eating it all.
I think you're more Singaporean than I am. Definitely on the durian part. Yep.